Hey, sometimes this is how life is. Like I've been working for like an hour trying to get this thing to stream. Like so I can stream on TikTok. That part's easy. But also kick the stream over to YouTube at the same time. And I just could not get it to work. So you know what? Sometimes in life it is what it is. So I decided to go with the best of the decisions and just record it here on TikTok and then go straight and I'll just upload it straight into YouTube like immediately, just the way that it is. So with that being said, try again. And if there's not one way to do something, there's about a million different ways. What's up, Hannah? How are you doing? And we're going right in. It is tea time with Mr. Farr. It is the weekly podcast that I do. I stream it live on TikTok. I'm also supposed to be streaming it to YouTube. It didn't work this time. It is what it is. So here we are. We're just going to stream live on TikTok, and we're going to go right in. You already see what the topic is. It is about state testing. Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? State testing is wild. I thank you for the people who are joining in live. What's up? What's up for the people sending in likes? I appreciate that. Somebody shared the live. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So let's just go ahead and go right in. Okay, so boom. State testing. So state testing is, and fill in the blank. So for the people who are in the chat, go ahead and fill in the blank. Complete that sentence. State testing is. Complete that sentence. State testing is. For a lot of people, people will say state testing is unnecessary. People will also say state testing is mad difficult. People will also say state testing is stupid, right? That's what a lot of people will say. And I've seen this from teachers to admin folks to students. Like everyone has a different opinion. Parents have a different opinion. I've had parents opt their kids out of state testing for various reasons, and some of them aren't even like valid, just because my student doesn't want to take it. So I'm just gonna say that. I mean, just like any reason why. So by the way, I don't mean to be offensive, but I just think most times you need a better reason than I don't want to do something to be the reason you don't do the thing. You know what I mean? There's always could be some good reasons why you may not take the state test or whatever the case is. Anyway, long story short, there's all kinds of opinions, all kinds of things back and forth. You got to just think about the state test in these kind of terms. If the state is giving over hundreds of millions of dollars to schools and to school districts, and then obviously to admin, to teachers, to the whole process, right? How do they go about figuring out if their money is being used in the way in which they say? By the way, thank you for the roses. I see that out there. How does the state figure that out? Like to say, yo, the money that we're spending is valid. And so they've obviously devised this way of a state test to kind of figure that out, because the reality is here in America, we don't have a standardized way of grading. We don't have a standardized curriculum, right? So because of that, depending on state to state, city to city, school to school, you might get a different, like maybe the same standards, but a different version of it, if that makes sense. So those are just some things that you got to think about. Like, how does the state go about like validating that what they are spending their money on education wise is actually what they're getting? So that's how we got to this place of having a state test. By the way, thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. And so with that being said, right? So we got the state test. It is what it is at this point. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Oh my gosh, the roses is coming in crazy. Anyway, Trucker's Life, I see you, my boy. Also Leo, what's up? I see you. Oscar, what's up? I see you. I had to salute out the people. You know what I'm saying? If they support me, I gotta salute them. Okay. So anyway, that's where we're at. We're at with the state test, and it just kind of just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that's concerned, the state test, I see why we have it. I understand why we're having to go through these things and why we need the state test. Now, here's the thing. Surviving the state test, that's a whole nother thing. Like, how long should the state test be? Someone was like, it took so long because for us, because I teach science, so it's 5th, 8th, and 11th grade when you're here in California, and the state test is about 2-ish hours. Now, depending on your periods, right? And I only have one period of science, so my periods is like 48 minutes. But then we have some different kind of schedules on some of our periods that in the middle of the week, our periods are actually shorter. So it could take my students 3 to 4 days. We actually state tested. For the most part, we state tested like for 5 days. And I know that's got to be tough. And as a teacher, I was like, man, I got to think of some ways to actually better prepare my students, or like mentally prepare, get my students' brains like in a place where they can. So on Monday, which is tomorrow, I'm actually going to solicit some feedback from my students. I actually was able to do that with one of my periods because they finished in 4 days, which I was really happy about. But I'm going to solicit some feedback from them to be like, yo, what are the things that you think we should do as teachers to better prepare students for the state test, or maybe make it easier? Not easier in the sense of like changing the test in any way, but just make it easier on the conditions the students are in to actually complete the state test. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to try and like figure that thing out. You know what I'm saying? I just got to figure that thing out. So getting some feedback from the students to see what they say. Now, I will say this. A lot of students said, and this was good, is that majority of the topics that were on the state test, they got taught. So I'm like, cool. That's a check one. And for science teachers, that means like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, like we covered the majority of the topics. Now, other things are like skill sets. So I've been trying to help them out with different skills that will be helpful on the state test. But the state test itself is just a difficult thing. And it's just a thing that you gotta kind of get through. One suggestion that someone made, and I don't know, you guys tell me in the chat, let me know, is like, what if we took a 3-minute, like the testing period, let's just say it's 40 minutes, and let's just say we let them, or 45 minutes, we let them test for 20 minutes, have them stand up, take like some sort of short break or whatever, pause the test, and then give them about 3 minutes. Some people were like, maybe we could play a short game or something, you know what I mean? Or just get up, do some jumping jacks, do some short exercises or something crazy, right? And then jump right back into the state test for the next 20 minutes. I was like, that might be a good idea. That would be something I legit would be like willing to try. I see some people up in the chat talking. Hey, it's all good. It's all good, because, you know, that part, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that part, but so, hey, people talking wild, it's all good. I love y'all, man. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? As long as we're cool, and people are respectful to one another. That is one of the things, like, be kind to each other. So I'm just happy and elated and excited. Somebody got a skibbity toilet in the chat. I'm just excited that the state test is over for the year. One thing I'm thinking that I might do next year is, and this was my fault. So this is my students. This was my fault. This was not your fault. This was my fault all the ways. I got to select. Sorry, that's my water right there. I got to select the week that we had the state test. So there was a range. I couldn't select any week, but there was a range of weeks, and I selected. I selected the last week of the state testing, and I was just like, bro, man, I messed up. I messed up. I should not have picked the last week. I've been the first week too. You know what I mean? I've been on the first week of it, and I thought that sucked because we started right when we came back from spring break. So, but if I had to go one or the other now and doing it these 2 years, I would definitely put it on the front end. I would be like, let me skip day one, or like day one, just get them back into just being back in school and do the state test like half of the period and then start with the rest of the week. That's what I think I would do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think I would do, because this last time just took far too long for the state testing. I've got to figure out some tips. So I'm like, if anybody watches this podcast at some point, yo, give me some tips. I need help, just ways to help my students. But again, one of the ways that for sure I'm going to work on helping my students is getting feedback from my current students for like, and I told them 2 parts. So this is what my students will do tomorrow at the beginning, at least 5 of my periods, is, yo, tell me what would you say to students who got to take this test next year? What advice would you give them, right, to be prepared for this test? And those are some things I'll probably talk about at the beginning of the school year next year. You know what I mean? And I'll put up there to say like, yo, these are the things that they're saying would be helpful, like, for y'all. And then what's some advice for teachers? So I would say one student said, I think the teachers teach very well, and the things that they have taught us are the things that was on the test. I was like, what? Because I'm like, you never hear stuff like that from students, but it was cool. It was cool. So I am very happy. By the way, The whole chat has been taken over by straight up just trend talk. That's a wild thing. I guess we're gonna shift gears here off the state test onto trending talk. It's like the students. This is a wild thing. Sometimes they don't even speak English. Like the words they're using, well, not all the words they're using are English. Like some of the words, I mean, the words are English, but they're not using real definitions that we have given for English. And then also the wild part is they talk in this language I call trends, like just trends. Like some people, I guess call it like I don't know what other people call it, but I call it they talk in trends. And it's like these trends that are going on, right? They just talk in these trends and they're not even like you like unless you understand the trends or inside the trends or see them, then you won't even understand what in the heck they're talking about. There's all this alpha sigma stuff, there's all this beta stuff, you know, trying to rank people, all that stuff. Like people want to be an alpha, they don't even know what that actually means. Then you got people out here talking about like the skibbity toilet, where does that come from? It's all this madness on YouTube. It's just and maybe because I'm old, I'd be like, this stuff's not even funny. Like y'all are here, ha 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 ha, scaredy toilet, scaredy. Like all the time, I'm like, bro, y'all need y'all need to chill. Y'all just yakking in trends. And the wild part, this is the wild part and the beneficial part, is the trends burn so intense and so fast that something that is here will be gone in a couple of months and people won't even be barely mentioning that stuff anymore. So that is cool. By the way, hey, little hacker. Oh, wasn't it supposed to play a sound? Oh, it must have not worked. I thought I hooked up a sound to when people add, but hey, little hacker boy, thanks, fam. But maybe next time it'll play the sound. I got to figure that out. Okay, so people are asking. So I'm done with that trend talk. Obviously, the thing that's trending right now is Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. And what I gotta say to that, people probably won't like, but I'll just say this: number one thing is this: as a black person, as a black male teacher, it's sad to see two black dudes going at each other in the public, and not even in a way that's like lyrical or that's like skill. It's not skill based, it's insult based. It's like literally, how can I tear you down in the public eye? How can I make you look as bad as possible? How can I make accusations about you that may or may not even be true, right? That's number one, right? And then number two, the other sad part is that the public just consumes it. Like, we like to see other people tear each other down. I'm like, that's just sad, bro. Like why should I be happy or excited about watching someone else tear someone else down? And like I said, make accusations, and then also some things are just outright lies. So that's all I gotta say about that. Now, as we get into skill level, to be honest, out of this whole beef, this is just my rating system. Okay, the best rapper out of all of them actually is J. Cole, and he's the only adult in the room in my eyes, where he reacted and then was like, nah, let me take that back, because I shouldn't even be up in this battle. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't even be up in this battle. This is ridiculous and dumb and a waste of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's just a waste of energy. So I actually think J. Cole is actually the best rapper out of all of them. He also has probably the smallest following out of all of them, but that's very typical that usually the best lyricist or the person who's the most skilled is not necessarily the most popular person. Okay, then I'll put Kendrick Lamar down here somewhere. You know what I mean? And then the hard part is I think Kendrick Lamar and Drake lyrically are very close to each other. If you actually listen to Drake's like whole like, you know what I mean, discography, by the way, thanks for the roses, appreciate that. If you listen to Drake's whole discography, lyrically, like, Drake is skilled. I'll say like this, I don't listen to his music anymore, but that's one of the first things that impressed me was he was lyrically skilled and he wasn't a gangster. That those two things, like you talked about the reality of the life you were living and you weren't fake and fraudulent about things. You know what I'm saying? I was impressed with that even though I don't agree with his lifestyle now, so I don't fools with him no more. And then I just one of these things about beef, as a person who grew up in the 80s and 90s, like we done seen beef and we done seen the beef turn into people dying. So we're not like we might step a little bit more cautious. And I remember getting caught up into that and really thinking like, oh, it was East Coast versus West Coast and all this other stuff. I really remember like getting caught up in that. Like I almost was taking it personal. Like I was somehow in this beef. I wasn't even had nothing to do with that. It was just a wild time, a wild time. I will say this, however, even if you want to say Kendrick Lamar is a little bit better lyrically than Drake, this is the only part that's crazy to me, and this is why this makes it feel like this is an egotistic money grab. And the reason I say that is, and I posted something on one of my other ones, is Kendrick Lamar's streams has went up 50% since this beef has started. So he has made a ton of money. We're not talking about the streams of the current diss songs, not those. I'm talking about your past catalog streams have risen 50%. So I was like, maybe this is about ego and money, right? But the wild part is, this is the wild part. Drake is the best artist out of all of them. No one wants to hear that. But Drake is the best artist out of all of them. And when I say artist, I am talking about lyrics. So as a rapper, where are you rating at? Also, popularity. How many #1 songs do you have? How many album sales do you got? What's your concert and tours looking like? Drake is the #1, and it's not close. I went through, and I don't think I could show it, but I went through and I looked at Drake, right? Like I looked at Drake's followers, and this is just easy. Like just look at Drake's followers on just YouTube. Just look at Drake on YouTube. Look how many people he has following him. This was wild. So I looked at how many people are following Drake. You look that up. Hold on. Maybe I might be able to show it. Let's see. Let's see if I can just get to the actual, because I don't want to play none of the music or none of that stuff. Family Matters. He got that streaming right there. But if you just look at him. Hold on. I think I can show it. If you just look at him, 29 million, 29.9 million. I'm going to put that again. 29.9 million followers. I was looking at this the other day because I was like, maybe this is a money grab. Maybe this, because Drake is as an artist is on a different level than everyone else is. And some people are like, no, Kendrick Lamar's better. No, this person's better. No. I'm like, no, look, it's just like Taylor Swift. And look, and for the Swiftie people, if you ever watch this, they can be mad if they want to. Taylor Swift is not the best singer. Okay? She is not the best singer. She is not the best dancer. But she is on a different level as an artist than almost all of these artists out there. The only artist you could pick out to be like, who's on the level of Taylor Swift might be like Beyonce. That's it. So that's what I say. When it's an artist, it's like popularity. It's like #1 songs. It's album sales. It is your singing. But it's a lot of things that go into being a great artist. And that's why I'm saying Drake is just on a different level. Just like Taylor Swift's on a different level. She is not the best singer, bro. She is not the best singer. Again, I'm not saying Drake's the best rapper, but out of these three, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Drake, it is easy to say that Drake is the #1. Because look at Drake's following, 29.9 million. And I bet you if we go to every social media outlet that Drake is on, Spotify, everywhere, you would see that Drake is almost probably double, some places triple of what Kendrick Lamar is. I'm just putting this information out there to be like, look where you at. Let's just look at Kendrick Lamar. Let's see if we can pull up his thing. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar right here. He got half of Drake's subscribers right here. 14.4 million. I'm just keeping it 100, right? I'm just keeping it 100. 14.42 million. Okay, let's just keep doing some math. Everyone who is dissing Drake, let's just see where they're at. That's why I said, maybe this is a money grab. We done went way off into the weeds. That's okay. So we got 14.2 million. Then we got Rick Ross over here, right? Where he at? Oh, Rick Ross. How many followers he got? How many followers Rick Ross got? Oh, he got 3.6 million. So now you're up to 17, right? 17 million, 18 million. Okay. Metro Boomin, where you at? Because he's another person who's involved in it off in this, right? Metro Boomin, where you at? How many followers you got? Are you even close to anywhere? And obviously, he only got 2.78 million, which is an amazing following for a producer, because producers typically don't have that much more. But I'm just saying, add another 3 million, you at 20 million. Drake's still eclipsing y'all by like 29.9 million if you get all the people who coming against Drake. That's why I was like, maybe it's deeper than just that. It's an ego thing that you want to be the best rapper or the best artist or whatever the case is, right? And you gotta tear someone else down. And I was telling my students this, and I'll leave this as it. Okay, I'll leave this as it. When you've got to tear someone else down in order to elevate self, that means you're already below them. I just want to put that out there. If you have to tear someone else down in order to elevate self, that means you're already below them. So that's why I'm like, I don't need to tear anybody down to shine. I don't need to tear anybody down to shine. I don't got to tear anybody down to elevate. That's what I'm saying. Like Kendrick Lamar, whatever, his fans. And the crazy part is I don't listen to any of these fools' music. I don't listen to none of this music anymore because it doesn't agree with who I am as a person. So I'm like, I can't listen to y'all. But I'm just telling you, if you have to tear other people down in order to elevate, man, you already below those people. You already below them. So it is what it is. That's my take on the beef. Y'all wanted to know what my take on the beef was. That's my take. You know what I'm saying? That is my take, and it is what it is. I just hope it is over sooner than later. Again, I am hoping that it's over sooner than later because, again, like I stated at the beginning, it's just sad for me to see two black men tearing each other down in the public. You know what I mean? That's sad to me. I'm like, we should be elevating. Hey, black people, especially black men, we struggling as it is. Hey, we struggling as it is. We just trying to do what we can as it is. We just trying to elevate as we can. We don't need to be tearing each other down. I'm just putting that out there. Okay, I think we done. This podcast went way somewhere else, but that's okay. That's what happens when you go live and you responded to the chat. You let the chat chime in, and you just kind of go with it, and I'm okay with that. So anyway, love y'all. Hopefully you have an awesome rest of your night. It is 9:26. I gotta download this whole thing and then upload this whole thing over there on the Facebook, not Facebook. What am I doing? See, that's how you can tell I'm old. That's how I'm getting old now. I'm older now. That's what my friends used to say. We older now. But I gotta go ahead and get this thing on over to YouTube and just post it, because if I don't, I know that I'll be waiting and I'll be trying to post it and wanting to post it, but not really posting it. What is your favorite soda? Someone asked that in the chat. Let me see if I can play this little song right here. But my favorite soda, I would go with Mountain Dew as number one, and I would take any of them. There's about 50 different versions of Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is crazy. The other soda that I used to really like a lot, but I don't drink anymore, is Dr. Pepper. And that's mainly because I just don't drink dark sodas. I don't drink dark sodas no more. I just don't. I just don't drink dark sodas no more. It is what it is. But if I had a choice of a soda, it definitely would be Mountain Dew. I'm okay with Baja Blast. I'm okay with Cold Red. I'm okay with any of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with any of those drinks. But to be honest, I usually drink energy drinks. I know they're not good for you, so please don't come for me. As a matter of fact, maybe I might fast from energy drinks for the rest of this month, because I really need to get off that kick and just have some natural stuff. But with that being said, I think we're up out of here. Someone said, what is your favorite candy? That's a good question. The music stopped right when I was thinking. I was like, I don't know what my favorite candy is. I like things that are sour. So like, I don't even know how to explain it. I just like candies that are sour, fruity sour, whatever. Like, I like sour Mike and Ike's. I like Haribo gummy bears. The sour kind are the best. Those twin snake, like I like any of those types of candies. I am totally with it. Yo, my homeboy Trucker's Life is signing off from Arkansas. Stay cool out there. See if you can see some northern lights. I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful rest of the day, the evening. Get some rest. Get ready for the week. Be ready to rock and roll for tomorrow. I'm excited. I think this week's going to be an easy week for my students. Love y'all. Peace. Hey, and if you haven't followed me already on YouTube, go ahead and go on to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get that thing up. By the way, Leah, I appreciate all of the roses. Appreciate that so much. All right, y'all. Oh, my boy said he made some smothered oxtail. Woo! Wait! If y'all ain't had none of them, y'all need to get you some. All right, y'all. Peace.